Cassie Hall appears, apparently representing herself at this juncture. Would counsel announce appearance on the respondent side?
Your Honor, may it please the court, Desiree Smith appears on behalf of the respondent, Brandon Daughtry, who also appears in person. I also have his current girlfriend with me. Fiance, my apologies.
This matter comes before the court at this time on what was labeled as an emergency motion in this case. Emergency temporary custody motion due to child safety concerns filed by Ms. Hall. Apparently service was obtained, or notice at least was actually received by Brandon in this case. This matter comes before the court at this time. No orders have issued to this point other than the order for the Zoom hearing. But while I have a threshold question that I need answered, there in the pleadings, there was identified a pending Sedgwick County PFA case, Ms. Hall?
Correct.
All right. Weren't if there needed to be emergency orders regarding custody or any other matter concerning you and Brandon in this case, why weren't they addressed there?
Well, it's actually a PFA against Brandon in regards to his fiance's children that are in the house also when Easton is present. The father and stepmother of the fiance's children filed the PFA due to what the children are stating is happening at the house, to which also Easton is telling me the same stories.
Okay, so you weren't the petitioner in that case.
No, I was just informed that they had done that, and then it also is going along with what Easton has been telling me as well.
All right, what relief are you seeking today, Cassie?
Right now, I would just like temporarily full custody of Easton until the PFA, which I believe is on Thursday. And I would also like, we have, from what I'm understanding, there was going to be another hearing on the 24th, which was going to discuss further custody of Easton in the future.
Your internet,
and we were going to go over the fact that Brandon is not using his 50-50, I'm taking care of Easton more than 50-50.
All right. And so what hearing is on the 24th? I'm sorry?
You're supposed to have one on the 25th, but it sounds like it got moved to today because of the temporary the motion for hearing today.
All right. I'm going to address my assistant. Are you aware that we have another hearing set on the calendar?
Well, when I filed
just a moment. I'm addressing my administrative assistant.
Okay, sorry.
Judge, I did give her a date further out, but then I realized that there was an emergency temporary order or a temporary motion. I'm sorry.
All right.
So I do have it set, but I didn't know if we were going to keep that or not.
Okay, I guess we'll determine that today. And that is what date and time?
Let me look real fast.
So we'll make sure that I have that, state that accurately.
April 25th at 9 a.m.
Is that a 1 hour setting?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Thank you for that information, Mandy.
This hearing opens with urgency and emotion. Cassie Hall appears on her own, filing what she calls an emergency motion for temporary custody, citing child safety concerns. Across the screen, Brandon's attorney, Desiree Smith, appears confident and calm, joined by Brandon and his fiancée. The judge wastes no time. He wants to know why Cassie didn't raise these custody concerns in the existing PFA case filed in Sedgwick County. Cassie explains that the PFA wasn't hers. It was filed by the fiancé's children's family after claims of abuse at Brandon's home. What she's asking for now, full temporary custody until that PFA hearing on Thursday.
All right. So you're seeking sole legal custody, essentially, and sole physical possession of the child between now and the next hearing. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Smith, your position regarding this temporary request?
Your Honor, my client is objecting to the temporary request. The PFA in Sedgwick County was granted on ex parte orders without any input or hearing from my client, and so that has not been litigated yet. But furthermore, I think it's important to understand that the allegations in the PFA are that my client has spanked the fiance's minor children. The only issue that even went to a PFA and got signed is because those children are not biologically related to him. And so there is a legal question as to whether or not he has the authority to parent those children. That's the only reason that I believe ex parte temporary orders were even signed. Is because the allegation is about spanking minor children whom he lives with, whom he parents, but is not a legal parent to. The difference here is that the child that Ms. Hall has filed about is my client's legal child. He is a parent to that child, and so even if everything in the PFA case is true, which my client denies that it is, he denies that he's ever spanked her children. But even if we take that PFA as 100% true, that he has spanked Easton in this case, he's Easton's biological and legal father. He is allowed to parent Easton, and Ms. Hall has not provided anything that would indicate that parenting has gone above and beyond parenting that is allowed in Kansas. For example, we do not have any photos of bruises on this minor child. We do not have any police reports. We do not have any DCF reports.
The courtroom tightens as the judge clarifies Cassie's request. Full custody, no contact for the father until further review. Brandon's attorney pushes back hard. She argues the PFA wasn't proven, that it only alleges spanking of the fiancé's kids, not his biological son, Easton. She insists there are no bruises, police reports, or DCF findings showing any real abuse. But Cassie jumps in, her voice trembling yet determined. She claims there is a current DCF investigation and says she has an entire Google Drive of evidence, messages, reports, and statements from multiple children describing disturbing treatment in Brandon's home. The air feels heavier now.
We have nothing indicating that he has gone above and beyond simply parenting his own child, and therefore ask that the emergency order be denied.
Your Honor, if I can interject, there actually is a current DCF case going on right now. There also were past DCF where not only I have contacted, but others have contacted DCF in regards to concerns for Easton's safety. I do have documentation. I have a whole Google Drive full of documentation if needed to prove everything else. It doesn't just go with spanking. On the PFA, it also talks about that he was hitting, spanking, and yelling. Plus, I have other documentations and what my son has said, plus what the other two children have stated have happened in regards to how he handles situations when they're getting in trouble. I have all the documentation right here that I can address if you would like.
Has DCF issued a final report and findings in the case?
Right now, she's waiting to speak to Brandon. She knows of our case hearing today. She knows of the PFA hearing on Thursday. So she just spoke to me yesterday, stating that she was going to talk to Brandon later this week, possibly after both hearings.
All right, I'll address the mother again and ask, you state in your motion that you've tried to get emotional support set in place for Easton, such as play therapy, but somehow the petitioners thwarted that?
In our parenting,
If he needs therapy, why don't you just put him in?
well, in our parenting plan, we stated that we have to address both of those together and state whether or not we both agree to that. And I have proper documentation on our Family Wizard app that shows that he did not want to proceed with any of that. So I was unable to put him in that therapy.
The judge focuses in, asking for evidence, final reports, or therapist involvement. Cassie says DCF hasn't finished yet, but she's been pushing for therapy that Brandon keeps blocking. She insists their parenting plan requires joint agreement for therapy, and Brandon refused. The attorney disagrees, saying there's no proof he ever objected, and that he fully supports therapy now. Cassie names a center, Sunlight Child Advocacy Center, describing their trauma-based programs and how they even made a DCF report after hearing her concerns. For a moment, even the judge seems moved. He grants Cassie the authority to enroll her son in therapy immediately.
And that is why DCF also has been contacted due to a lot of the emotional damage that Easton has been encountering the past couple of months.
Your Honor, my client does not object to therapy and actually looked back through the Our Family Wizard messages to find where she was referring to in her motion and could not find a time he objected to therapy. So if that's the court's concern today, he has no objection to the minor child being enrolled in play or other therapy, whatever is age appropriate.
Where are you proposing that this therapy take place, Cassie?
I've actually been speaking to a place over in El Dorado, and
The
they
place
are
in El
actually
Dorado?
would like to.
I was
Yes, they
wanting
would
more
like to.
specifics than that.
Yes, I have it, Your Honor.
Okay.
Let me just grab that real quick. Because they just spoke to me yesterday and wanted also me to kind of step in and have a conversation as well. It is called the Sunlight Child Advocacy Center.
And they have an actual therapy program that you believe would be beneficial to your son?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an advocacy center for families. They actually are someone that also reported DCF based off documentation and the things that I had stated. They also made a DCF report, hence why the DCF contacted me on Friday, this last Friday.
All right. You have court-ordered authority to enter him into that program, Ms. Hall?
Well, that's what I would like to seek, that due to all of this emotional damage and the fact that he is somewhat getting physically abused, plus with the other children, all the things that he witnesses and sees while in custody of his father, I would like for that to be addressed, that we do start him in that therapy, because we are seeing a lot of emotional damage with Easton right now. And
All right, well,
even
you have court-ordered authority to enter him into that program.
Perfect. Thank you.
And as I understand it, what you're seeking in addition today is an order just essentially just cutting off the father from having contact with his son?
Well, I would like for things to happen before he is able to see him again. In the motion that I also have in there is that, yes, I would like full custody of our son. I've had him majority of the time. I have proof that I have him more than 50% each month and 50% of every year that I have since we have divorced. He has been doing very well. I have a lot of documentation showing that he does not do well after coming back from his father, the things that he tells me and states that is happening at his father's house. I would essentially like full custody with visitation rights if agreed upon the petitioner. I also have put into the motion exactly where those visitation rights could take place, and based off what the petitioner could do, it could happen during the week or on the weekends. I'm also stating in here that I would like for parenting classes to be conducted with the petitioner, as well as if the PFA goes through, I would like for anger management classes to be conducted before he's able to see Easton again.
Your Honor, in her motion, she did not state that the minor child had said anything. All of these allegations about the minor child's emotional state and the minor child saying all these things are brand new as of 3 minutes ago. In her motion, the only thing she references are the allegations made by the other children and the other PFA. She doesn't make any of these allegations that the minor child has stated any of these things. In fact, my client just had parenting time with the minor child just prior to this hearing.
And I would like to address that, Your Honor, because
Okay. All right. Just a moment, Ms. Hall. I'm not sure Ms. Smith completed her statement to the court, so
No,
let's
Your Honor.
not interrupt her. Okay.
My client just had parenting time with the minor child where the minor child was happy, healthy. There's videos of the two of them just doing activities together that my client has that I could show the court today if the court would like to see. But there is nothing to indicate that this minor child was in any way harmed or fearful of his father during this time. And she let him come to parenting time just last week and now is asking that the court cut off all contact and make that parenting time supervised over a PFA that's been filed in a different county with different children that my client hasn't even had a chance to respond to.
Things escalate fast. Cassie now asks for full custody and that Brandon's visits stop until therapy and parenting classes are done, plus anger management if the PFA stands. The judge leans back as Brandon's attorney fires back. None of this was in her written motion, and the new claims of fear, monsters, and heavy punishments just appeared in court today. She insists the boy looked fine last week, even joyful. They have videos to prove it. Cassie, near tears, says her son told her he stayed in an empty house on an air mattress, was told to repeat things on camera, and described being scared and spanked for refusing to shower. The details are haunting, but unverified.